All right, we're live, everybody. We are live, late breaking, local, all that good stuff. And we're talking about Super Bowl. What are your thoughts, guys? I don't want to say too much. I really don't, but I didn't really go out on a limb here, but I've been picking these two teams since the playoffs were down to 4 teams. I mean, it was just clear to me who was going to win. I had no idea the Eagles would rout Washington, but the turnovers really hurt Washington. Yo, Daniel Barry, you went live yesterday, huh, buddy? Awesome for you, dude. That's cool. Very cool. We are live, Nathaniel. We are live, Nathaniel. Nathaniel, I think I made you a moderator. Yeah, I did. You already know that, though. Aton was telling me that he is not looking forward to, hey, Amanda, how are you? What is going on? Aton's here. Yes. You think it was fully a first down. The ref said something else. You really are against the Chiefs going into this. I love that, though. I love your passion for that. Amanda, just here to say hi. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are too. Amanda, after the Super Bowl, we're going to start talking about NFL draft, all that kind of good stuff. And we're also going to turn to Major League Baseball, fantasy. The whole basketball thing did not work out, but we will be talking NFL draft, players you should think about, sleepers, all that good stuff. Hey, Donnie Betts is here. Hey, Donnie, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you. What did you guys think of? Bills lost, so I ain't watching the Super Bowl. Okay, fair enough. I totally get it. Not even going to go to a party where everybody watches the Super Bowl and tries all the food. Not going to even do that. So, are you having guest up? Well, do you want to talk, Donnie? Give me a few minutes. Let's get a little bit bigger audience, and then you can come on and talk about it. I want to hear your opinion of the the line right now. I don't know exactly what it is exactly right now, but I heard right away after Kansas City won last night that it was the Chiefs were favored by 2 points as of last night. So I don't even know where the line is now. But all right, for real, yeah. Well, Nathaniel, my moderator, 1.5 Kansas City. Okay, interesting. You look tough. I don't mean to look tough. I apologize. I always wear my hat. I look tough. I think you're teasing me. All right, remember, Major League Baseball is starting soon. Let's go. Yeah, we will be talking. Highlight plug is here. I guess we'll take people. This might be tough. Hello, how are you?
Oh,
What's going on?
you fucking birds, bro.
Yeah. So you ready for the Super Bowl?
Hell yeah, bro.
Oh, that's awesome. That's all. So obviously you're an Eagles fan. Are you in Philadelphia?
Yeah, bro. I'm from Philly.
Did you climb any of the poles like some of the fans did?
Hell yeah.
Isn't that like your thing? Isn't that like the Philly thing to do, to climb the poles?
Bro, it's just like, I don't even know how to put it, bro.
Didn't they once didn't they once grease up the poles so you guys couldn't climb it and that still didn't work?
Yeah, we still climb them.
Yeah. Now did
They
anybody
do everything they want to do. They can't stop us.
they can't. They can't. Now did anybody like wreck any police cars?
Hell yeah, man. We was fucking all types of shit up last night.
All right, all right. Well, that happens. So what do you think the final score of the game will be?
Shit, equals 5 million.
Okay, all right, all right. Were you
Nah, I'm playing. Nah, I think it's going to be a good game, though.
now? What did you think of your? Obviously, you liked the result. They won, but
Yeah,
was that a good game? Did you think there was anything that was wrong? What did you think about the game?
listen, if you want to be honest,
Yeah.
from the area I'm from, so I went to Xfinity Live,
Uh huh.
which is like a little bar joint, like your stadium.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching it the full time, but when I finally was able to watch full on highlights, because it get crowded in there, so it's tough to see the people and all.
Yeah. I gotcha.
But yeah, nah, I think we played a good game, and Saquon showed out.
Oh yeah.
I knew when Shipley started running at the end too, I'm like, wow, like we're just putting out great potential out there. It's
Yeah.
good to see my team
Well,
really starting to fly.
well, say
All
yeah.
the Redskins fans too, like thinking that they was really having a shot when the only reason they beat us is because Smith dropped the ball.
Yeah.
and we went through 3 quarterbacks in a game.
Yeah.
Like, what you expect was going to happen?
Yeah. It's hard. Yeah, it's difficult. And they really showed, Washington showed that their defense was their weakness. And, I will say this though, okay, that Jaden Daniels, I thought played well given he's a rookie. He didn't make any mistakes. His team did though. The fumbles, the lost fumbles, they lost it for him. He didn't lose that game. So
I mean, this stuff, our defense is the best in the league.
oh, it is. It is. I mean, you guys were
Defense is doing what we're doing.
yeah,
The turnovers were cool.
exactly. You got your defense caused those turnovers.
And also look at the special teams too.
Yeah.
Kickoffs and making these fumbles. Our defense, special teams is different.
Well, and I said going into that game, I'm not going to act like I'm some sort of I can predict things, but I said Philadelphia has the best defense. Their defense will be the a difference maker in this game, and it was. I thought that it was.
Everybody always scared about the Chiefs, but this year, man, look at the scores the Chiefs have been putting up. They are not impressive.
No.
Respect.
Well, and look at it like this. Look
in the NFC.
Yeah, look at it like this too. Look at what little old James Cook did against the Chiefs. Imagine them playing Saquon. I mean, seriously. Yeah, exactly. If the Chiefs can't stop Saquon, it's going to be they're not going to win. Now, I do think that there is this. I do think, and I don't want to put him too much on a pedestal, but I do think that Mahomes has this Jordan-esque thing to him where he can kind of will himself into the game. But I think given Philadelphia's defense and given Saquon and the fact that they barely could stop James Cook, it's going to be a long day for them. Now, for me,
every single team that we play tries to target him, and they still can't stop him.
No, they can't. They can't. They can't.
He looked like he back 19 years old at Penn State.
Exactly. That 60-yard run was unbelievable. I mean, to start the game, that was unbelievable. Yeah.
I got right at the bar as soon as that play happened. This was crazy.
Yeah. All right, man.
You cheering for the Birds though for the Super Bowl?
Well, I mean, look, I don't really have a fan or a team. I'm not because I live in St. Louis. I think we get a lot of Chiefs games, and I do like Patrick Mahomes. He's one of my favorite players. So probably because of that, I'll kind of be rooting for the Chiefs, but I do think that Philadelphia can beat the Chiefs. If that makes sense. I'm not.
About Patrick Mahomes, though. He like the Sidney Crosby of the NFL.
Yeah.
He a fantastic player, but he a flopper.
Well, yeah. I mean, he proved that against Houston. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Yeah. It's like he's in the NBA, with those flops. So. All right, man. Thank you very much. All right. Who else? Anybody else want to jump in? All QBs flop, bro. Yeah. I mean, here's the deal. All right. I'll be honest with you. If there was a gun to my head and I had to make a bet, I'm not a big better. I play fantasy. That's how I got all my followers. This year, I do daily fantasy, although I don't love doing it in the playoffs because it's really hard to beat other teams. But because everybody has like the same 7 players they pick. So, but I will say that I would probably put my money on the Chiefs. I just feel like Mahomes manages, and I know this is a horrible thing to say about football players, he manages the game well. Now he's a flopper. They're all whatever. The refs, I don't know that the refs favor them. I actually meant to look up before I got on here. I told you about my biology giant test. Yeah, how did it go, Nathaniel? Anyway, so I just thought that I do think Kansas City wins. Hate to say it, but it's true what Steve's saying. Congratulations on the 3P, Casey. Philly ain't winning again. Here's the thing. Jalen Hurts, I think, played a strong game, right? I mean, wouldn't you say that he played a good game? Mahomes played a good game. He didn't turn the ball over. I do think Saquon is going to be a difference maker. Yeah, Stephen J says Saquon for 200 plus yards, 3 touchdowns, Eagles 34-24. Look, I got to tell you, all year with fantasy, and you guys know this if you follow me, Fallen God, Taylor Swift is the ultimate lucky charm. Chiefs win. Yeah, I'm up to here with the whole Taylor Swift thing. I guess I'm not a fan of her music, so that kicks me out of the whole thing. Hey, Busch Gardens fan, but just I get it. They show her because she has fans and people watch for that. I get it. I get it. But I couldn't care less. I'm sort of an old school like watcher of games and things. If there's a penalty on targeting, then there should be a penalty on flopping. Yeah, but flopping doesn't necessarily hurt anyone. And truthfully, as someone said earlier, all quarterbacks flop to a certain degree. I don't know. Are there any other positions that flop besides quarterback, though? Eagles or Chiefs? I'm gun to my head, I'm saying Chiefs, but if the Eagles won, I wouldn't be surprised at all because their defense is so much better. Here's the thing, and I'm going to say it until the Super Bowl 500,000 on Chiefs. Ooh, okay. Good for you, man. If you got that money, 500,000, I would probably keep the $500,000 and put it in a nice, secure little mutual fund that's, the S&P 500 kind of thing. But hey, if you want to do that, do that. Buffalo was the only chance of taking down the Chiefs. Yes, I get that. I get that. Okay. Now you have to admit, like, what does this say about Josh Allen? What does this say about Lamar Jackson? What does this say about the NFL? The Chiefs keep winning year after year after year. They manage the clock. The money 70,000 made 70 yesterday on Chiefs. You made 70,000 on the Chiefs yesterday. Wow. Okay. Well, why are you even on TikTok then? I mean, that's a good amount of money. You should just like go be on a vacation, man. That's what I would be doing. I'd be rather than watching this, I'd be out picking my new car or new cars, I guess, you know. So what I'm thinking, okay, here's the thing. A couple of things that I noticed about the Chiefs, all right? I'm not going to talk about the refs. Okay, we all know that storyline. I'm not going there again, as I said last week, and I'm going to try to go live every day now. I have not been going live for a variety of reasons. 500,000 on referees making a total of 4 bad calls. That's a very nice one. Wise guy. I like that. I like that. Predictions. Okay, the way I look at it is I do think the Chiefs win. Now it's 1.5 the line. We had what's his face on. He told us that Bobby. I don't know if Bobby's still there, but he can jump on if he wants. He's our guy from Vegas. He helps us out with all that kind of stuff and gives a good. I think he predicted both teams. Not that that's a stretch. Okay. Anyway, predictions. The way I look at it is, I do think the Chiefs win. However, the things that I noticed about the Chiefs after watching the game, obviously, like you guys did, is they could barely stop James Cook. And I don't know that Buffalo used James Cook as much as they should have, number one. All right. Rudy. Do you know Rudy, Nathaniel? Because I don't recognize that name. Rudy and Ray Day. So they could barely stop James Cook, and all year as I started like 5 minutes ago before my ADHD kicked in, he they've been pretty good against the run. And then yesterday, James Cook, to me, felt like Derrick Henry. He was running all over them. It will be a pick 'em by game day. Yeah, it probably will. And a lot of that is money lines and all that stuff, where the money's going and all of that stuff moves. Look, I'm not a big gambler. I'm not going to pretend to be a big gambler, but all that stuff, I do understand that moves a lot. So if you're for the Chiefs, you want to get it, the best situation for yourself. I don't know the over under or anything like that. I'll look at that stuff in a little bit. It's all going to constantly change, as you just said, Stephen. But they allowed fair amount of running. Now, I will say that I thought that Allen had maybe one, maybe two long runs at some point. They held him in check. So Chiefs for the W. I think the Chiefs win the game. Okay. I think that Andy Reid is a genius coach, and it's not to take away from Sirianni or anything like that, but I just think that I refuse to watch the Super Bowl. A lot of people are refusing to watch the Super Bowl because they're sick of the Chiefs. I completely get it. I used to be that way back in the 90s growing up with the Atlanta Braves always being in the World Series. I was really sick of the Atlanta Braves. Obviously, I'm a Cardinal fan, and so it just used to kill me. The only three-peat that matters right now is Mac McClung in the dunk contest. Okay, all right, that's fair. I'm sick as, by the way, I changed my name. Oh, Nick is sick as, Nathaniel. All right, Nick, buddy. Cool, my man. Glad to have you on board. I like the name. I like the name. Very um no just very straightforward. I like it. NFL is now under Taylor Swift's control. Kelsey's haircut says it all. I like that one. Oh, the over under. Stephen G says on YouTube, 49 and a half is the over under. I would say that's a pretty good number. That's, 24 to 25, 25 to, 27 to 23, somewhere in there. I mean, I think that that's probably the score. I'm a St. Louis Cardinals fan too. Yeah, I'm a huge Cardinals fan. So non no nose clips. Yeah. Hey, no nose clips. The Super Bowl is going to be awesome. Now, here's the thing. All right. Now, Casey Department, or DPT, says Chiefs 24-17. I think it's going to be super close. And I think the Chiefs have got to stop Saquon Barkley. They have to stop him. I will say that, getting back to what I'm getting all ADHD because I'm reading all the different chats. I don't think that they gave a lot of yards to Allen. Okay, my perception is, I can obviously look up how that game went, and I looked it up now on the computer. But my perception is they did pretty good. Yeah, is this the game? Yeah, okay. Where do we go here? This is not what I wanted. I want to go to ESPN because I know how to deal with it. No, that's the wrong game. Bills, Chiefs. All right, I'll go to ESPN and get it because I'm used to looking everything up on ESPN. So, all right, let's go to NFL. Do we have games up here? All right, there we go. Cool. All right, box score. Okay, so just real quick, I can make a bet. I will buy 3 shirts from you, Sidelines Fan Shop, if the Chiefs win. Oh, okay. I'm not buying anything for you. No, I'm teasing. Whatever. We can figure it out. All right, real quick. Let me just pull something over here. They can't stop Saquon. I don't think they're going to be able to stop Saquon either, Scooby Doo Doo. I will give up on the NFL if my Browns trade or release Nick Chubb. Really? You're that much of a Nick Chubb fan? He didn't put up great numbers, though, dude. I mean, I like him. Don't get me wrong. But, wow, okay. You guys got Cleveland, though, has a quarterback problem. Let's be honest. Okay, Mahomes, 245 yards. Allen, 237, 2 touchdowns. Mahomes, 1 touchdown. Let's see. Allen had 39 yards rushing. His long was 13. I kind of remember the 13. He didn't do a lot, though. You got to figure that's 2,600 yards on 10 runs. That's 2.5 yards per carry or per run. Mahomes has never lost in a dome. Well, don't they usually play in the Super Bowl in a dome? And he doesn't play in a dome a lot because let's just think about the Chargers aren't in a dome. The Raiders aren't in it. Are the Raiders, is that a dome in Vegas? Or is that like open? Isn't that like open, like the old Texas Stadium? And the Mile High is not a dome. I've been there, at least. I know that. So yeah, I would imagine he probably does pretty well in a dome. Some of that stuff I'm not worried about. What I would say is the most important thing right now for me, I'm trying to save up for a Nike Vapor Elite Eagles jersey. Wow, look at you. Oh, dude, you gotta buy merch from the merch store. What are you talking about? 2 rushing touchdowns by Mahomes. Yes. Rushing touchdown by Kareem Hunt. I will say Kareem Hunt played better than I thought. Let's face it. I mean, I don't know. How do you guys feel? Are there any KC fans? I don't think that Kansas City has a very strong run game. I don't think, outside of maybe Patrick Mahomes, I don't think, Pacheco had 5 carries for 12 yards and Kareem Hunt had 17 carries for 64 yards. I don't know. I get the feeling, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys have heard something I haven't heard, but I get the feeling that Isaiah Pacheco might still be a little injured or might have something going on, because ever since he's come back from the injury, they still haven't played him enough, and he still they don't play him enough, and he doesn't. His runs are not. They're 3 yards is a good run for him. Is all I'm saying. Hunt is strong. Yeah, he's strong. He is. But I don't know. I mean, I just think I don't know that Hunt. I mean, Hunt to me, Cook was a lot better than Hunt was yesterday. Now, Cook had 85 yards. Okay, here's what I wanted to look at though. Hold on. Mahomes had a fumble he lost. Josh Allen fumbled 3 times, but he got it. Oh, they didn't lose a fumble. Okay, defense. Where are we at here? Okay, interceptions, no interceptions, punt returns. Oh, the one, what was it? A punt return by what's his face? 81, Nico Remigio. I'm butchering that. Nico. He had that long run. That was nice. Kicking, punting. Ooh, where are we at here? Oh boy. Chiefs overview. I just wanted to see what the Hunt went from couch to Super Bowl. Yeah, he did. Remigio, yeah. Remigio. The one thing I wanted to okay, are they going to tell me the stats of the game? Let's see. This is what I wanted to look at real quick, guys. Penalties. Kansas City had 5 penalties for 21 yards. That's it. And the Bills had 6 penalties for 48 yards. So one more penalty, but it was a difference of 27 yards. So, last week Houston had 8 penalties for like what did I say, 82 yards, and Kansas City had 4 penalties for 29 yards. So this I don't know that this storyline, this narrative that Kansas City doesn't get or the refs are in favor of them. I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know how true it is. Again, as I said, I'm naive enough to think that the refs just call a game. They don't really have favoritism, but what do I know? Texans had some major penalties off the bat. Yeah, Texans were not very roomy-ho. I don't know what that means. Oh, roomy-he-ho. Oh, thank you, numbers. Roomy-he-ho. Okay, good. Yeah, didn't he just come off the practice squad? And he had that long run. That was okay. So it's somewhat Spanish in it, but all good. We taking the W. Chiefs. Okay, yeah, I know Kareem Hunt did enough, and he had a touchdown. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I'm not ripping on Kareem Hunt. All I'm saying is, he's a guy who's a running back. I wouldn't say he's a difference maker. Okay, like Saquon's a difference maker. I thought that James Cook was a difference maker in the game yesterday. I was somewhat surprised that they didn't use him even more. I'm going to go about 50 bets with my brother with this Super Bowl. Even you're going 50 bets? Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, and they're not going to be able to again, as someone said on YouTube, they're not going to be able to stop Saquon. The question is, what can they do to Hurts? And I know Hurts, doesn't he have an injured knee? Isn't that the brace that he wears? They'll be putting some pressure on him and see how mobile he is. I don't know that Washington's defense, I mean, clearly Washington's defense was not up to the challenge. Plus the problem with, and I said this earlier, the problem with Washington, look, Jalen Hurts, I thought played great. As a rookie, he played great. I don't know that he made any mistakes really, or major mistakes. I'll say one thing though, his team let him down because they're the ones who fumbled. That was the problem in that game. That was the problem in the game. His team really let him down. All those fumbles, they couldn't, what was it, 21 points off of fumbles? Now, Philadelphia blew them out. They can contain Saquon enough to force Hurts to throw. Well, yeah, and then Hurts has to manage the game, and I don't know how well he manages the game, right? Just need to slow down Saquon. Yes, if they can slow down Saquon, they have to slow down Saquon. He's going to get his runs. He's going to get his yards. They can't allow a 60-yard run, okay? Because that's a morale killer. Washington made too many. Yeah, Washington. The fumbles alone were reason enough. It would have been a lot. Yeah, would have been a lot closer if it wasn't for the fumbles. Again, and I'm saying it again. I thought Jaden Daniels played well. I thought his team around him let him down. And everyone's talking about on a whole different note. I'm sorry, my ADHD is all over the place today. It seems like, but the when Josh Allen threw the ball like that sort of Hail Mary to the tight end, and everyone's saying today that the tight end should have caught the ball. But if you think about it, I mean, from what I vaguely remember, he was coming in one direction, had to stop, and then laid himself out into a diving head first kind of slide, it's hard to match that up correctly when you're just so worried about getting to the ball. Everyone's like, oh, well, it hit him in the arms, it hit him in the hands, whatever, it kind of hit him in the forearms. But I don't know that was that catchable. Am I wrong about that? Ball was not yes. I don't think the ball was that catchable, but people on national TV today were saying that he should have caught it. And I'm like, I don't think that was an easy catch. I really kind of felt bad for him. I thought he was actually doing Allen a favor. I know that sounds horrible to say, but just to be able to get to the ball. Because if you think about it, if he didn't see that, he wasn't going to get to the ball. He wasn't in a position where he could just put his hand down and catch that ball. He had to, it was like a head first slide. It was like the Pete Rose slide into, hey, Donnie Betts is joining us. Hey, Donnie. So what are your takes on the Super Bowl, buddy? What are you thinking?
What's going on?
Not,
so,
yeah. Tell me.
That Bills game in Kansas City, just like we thought, right?
Yep. Yep.
Playoff Mahomes.
Yeah. I mean,
official now. He's Allen's daddy.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. It is. It's complete. The one thing about Mahomes that I'll say, and I know that the comparison is easy to say with like Brady. Mahomes, if he wins the Super Bowl, and we'll see. I think that they'll win, but we'll see how that goes. He doesn't lose in the Super Bowl, and that's the one thing Brady did, and it's the one thing Michael Jordan didn't do. And LeBron has done. So there is something about Mahomes where he can will himself, plays and things like that, which is just astonishing. And he does make the players around him better. I mean, he threw to everybody yesterday. Now, Donnie, what are you thinking? Well, first of all, I want to ask you two questions. What did you think about the games, and then who do you think's going to win the Super Bowl?
Oh, you already know what I got. I think back in Kansas City.
Okay, that's what I thought. So it's the Chiefs. So what did you think of the Philly-Washington game? What was your takeaway from that, Donnie?
Yeah, I mean, I just think we talked about it, right? There's just levels for a rookie quarterback to lead the team to the Super Bowl was just, far-fetched.
Yeah.
Barkley was the difference. He went crazy, and there's just levels to it. Ready, their future's bright. Washington is
on
their way.
Yeah.
Daniels is on his way for sure. There's just levels to it.
Yeah. Well, I also thought that Washington didn't really have much of a run game, and that might have hampered some of their offense as well because it wasn't balanced. Eckler wasn't doing anything, and I didn't see actually Robinson. He was in the game, I know he was, but he didn't do much in that game. So they didn't have much of a run game. Again, I'll say this, Donnie. I thought Jane Daniels, and sort of to your point, I agree with you. There's levels to it. The one thing about it is I thought Jane Daniels played a pretty good game for a rookie. He did pretty good, but his team with the fumbles and the fact that Philly could knock the ball out, their defense is so aggressive. I think that's one thing that obviously Kansas City has to be ready for, and something Washington just was simply not ready for at all. Because they like
to make it close. It's going to be a close game against the Eagles, but I think they'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, and my son always says, it's like Kansas City starts, like they'll keep the game close, and then like towards the middle of the fourth quarter, they'll do something, score a touchdown, or like yesterday, kick a field goal, and they'll just sort of hold the other team. And that's kind of what they did. I mean, they're really good. And I hate to keep saying it, but they really are good at managing the game. Mahomes doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He did fumble yesterday, but that was on a handoff, but he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and he can manage the game. What I liked about this game too, from a Chiefs standpoint, is he did throw to a lot of guys. Where last week, wasn't it, with Houston, he basically threw to Xavier Worthy, and he threw to Kelsey, and that was about it. So he spread it around. He gave Philadelphia something else to look at getting ready for the Super Bowl. So, I just think that I think it will be close. Now, any takeaways? Yeah. What's that?
Your margin for error is Kansas City. You just can't make any mistakes.
No, you can't make any mistakes. And the one thing I'll say is, going into the game, the Kansas City Buffalo game, I was really looking at how Kansas City tackled, because I know that in order to do well, there was some weird stat I heard last week that they missed 13 tackles or something the first time they played Buffalo or something like that. I thought they were tackling well. I thought Washington, going back to the other game, I don't think they tackled very well. And I think Philadelphia obviously did. And the aggressiveness of the defense to knock out 3 balls, one of them, in a kickoff or a punt situation, I think, so they're very aggressive, and Kansas City has to prepare for that. They have to protect the ball. I think they do a decent job of that, but I don't necessarily always trust Xavier Worthy. He had a good game yesterday. I can't knock him. I say sometimes I don't know where his head is. I don't know if he knows where he is on the field, but he played well yesterday. He sort of grew up yesterday, I thought so.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what the Chiefs do with Barkley. I think they're going to make the adjustments. The Bills kind of started running it down their throat, and Kansas City made the adjustments. And I think they'll do the same. Kansas City has dealt with running backs. They dealt with Henry.
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Last year they had the Niners and Barkley, and they've dealt with the running back. They've taken care of some really good running backs. So I think they'll make the adjustments and not let them rip off 50, 60-yard runs.
Yeah. Well, I do think that Kansas City's defense was negatively affected by the no huddle offense of the Bills, because they couldn't match up, and I think that helped Cook. So my guess is Philadelphia. Here's the thing, maybe Nathaniel, if you're still around, maybe you know this. Does Philadelphia, maybe Donnie, you know this, does Philadelphia go no huddle? I don't, they speed it up to make sure that they don't get the personnel changes in, because they were saying it kept some of the bigger guys out to stop the run. So it might be, they might take a tactic like that, but it'll be interesting because really, again, all the pressure is going to be on Jalen Hurts.
I think you got to make him beat you. I think you stop Barkley and you make him see how healthy and make him beat you. You got to stop Barkley.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on I don't know, this narrative right here with the refs. So the Chiefs, they're the third, fourth most penalized teams. They don't get a lot of roughing. I don't know if it's just the timing of it or they're always trying. So that Worthy catch, you remember the catch everybody was talking about?
Oh, yes, the 50-50, yes.
Go to the ground. So that was the correct call, it looks like. So the tie always goes
to the offense. Yep.
It always goes to the offense. And the ball can touch the ground as long as it doesn't move, right? As long as you have So it can touch the ground. So that ball was the right call. And there was holding on Buffalo too. So it wouldn't have made any difference.
No, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why.
No, I thought that given that the tie goes to the offensive player, I did feel like that was the right call. I will say that 4th and inches where I think it was Josh Allen on the keeper, I think he did get the first down. I thought that he.
So that 4th down call,
sideline
call, was that ref who had the better angle that made that right call. So you have to have irrefutable evidence, right?
Yes.
To overturn that, and you could not physically, you couldn't see the ball in that final. So you had to see irrefutable evidence, and you could not physically see the ball.
No. Well, yeah, exactly. Yes.
So that was the right call again. That was the right call. You could not see physical evidence.
Yeah. I guess on that call, I can see it either way. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but I'm not going to say, look, here's at the end of the day, first of all, I'm not an official. Second of all, there's more to it than just what they show on the video camera during the show, during the game, because there's also angles to those, to that video, where it looks like, oh, he did pass. Oh, no, he didn't pass, so there's everything's on an angle. So it's not clear cut. The one thing I'll say, and if you're a good coach, you'll tell your team this, look, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, make it clear that you got a first down. I thought some of the schemes on the 4th and short with Buffalo, I thought they were nonsensical. They were silly. they weren't running, or they don't necessarily have to pass, but that, that tush push, all this kind of stuff. First of all, as some of you guys know who watch this, I hate all that stuff. I hate it. It reminds me of what we used to do in the playground in grade school when we would play football. You just push the other guy. Yeah, you got to go for it. You got to go for it. You got to either not go for it. The 4th and 5 too, with the Bills last time, I thought that was way too risky. And then they're blaming everything on Kincaid, as I said a few minutes ago. I don't think Kincaid really had a legitimate shot at that ball. He had to completely lay himself out, like totally headfirst dive. And that's hard to match up and get that ball because your momentum isn't going to allow you to stop in midair. It just doesn't. But, at the end of the day, what I'll say about the Allen call is this. Look, Buffalo, if you're going to complain about that, if you're a fan and you're going to complain about that, make it clear. Get the first down, run through it, go around. Josh Allen, as I said just a while ago, with the box score, he only had 36 yards of running. Let's see here. He had Josh Allen had 39 yards, 11 carries, 39 yards. So, his longest was 13. So you take that away. He had 10 carries for 26. So it was 2.5 yards. I mean, Kansas City was not allowing Josh Allen to run the ball. And you might have said it, Donnie. I know that I said it. I said, Kansas City has to stop Josh Allen from that 30-yard run like he did during the regular season. So, and they did. So,
Buffalo, they were running the ball for a minute there.
What's that?
Buffalo was running the ball for a minute.
Oh yeah, there was some time period in I think the late third to the early fourth quarter where it looked like Kansas City did not know how to stop Cook. I think it was that period of time. Maybe it was in the second, but I thought it was the third. And I said to myself, well, actually, yeah, Buffalo scored a touchdown in the third, and then in the fourth, they scored again. I thought that they weren't going to be able to stop Cook. I'm like, they have to make some adjustments. Otherwise, they're not going to win this game because, and I will say one thing about James Cook that it was a little thing, but I was very impressed with it. That touchdown he scored, and he realized he had to extend his arm before his knees touched the ground. That was a pretty smart heads up play. You don't always see that from a running back, but, I was pretty, let's see, we have a couple, Daniel Smith on YouTube, tush push should be illegal. It might have to be that. I just think it's the most boring play in football. I can't stand it. I actually thought that stuff was illegal. Like, the one thing is on field goals, you can't use another player to extend yourself. And you would think that that's essentially what the tush push is, or the brotherly shove. It's basically you're taking a player and you're getting behind him and you're just pushing him like a train into the end zone or to the, to get a first down. Philly needs to be up by 10 points at halftime. Andy Reid does not lose the second half. I think, Steve, that Philly needs to be up by more than 10. I think they need to be up by 2 touchdowns, or 17 points. I think they need to take a big lead. Yeah. Yeah, 10 points for Kansas City. If you think the other thing too that was really impressive with me about Kansas City yesterday is the fact that for the first 3 or 4 4 times they scored 4 touchdowns. Like they weren't kicking field goals. Like sometimes teams in those situations can't get to the end zone, so they didn't kick a field goal till the fourth quarter. Everything else was a touchdown. It was pretty impressive that they were scoring touchdowns, because they don't always work like that, Kansas City. A lot of times they'll end up, having a field goal. Okay, some people want to join. I'll let them join here. I think that's.
Yeah, we've seen this before. At this point, you can't bet against Kansas City.
No.
Like the Brady. And it comes with the territory. People are just tired of it, I guess. But you should just enjoy greatness, right?
Well, that's part of it. Well, that's what somebody was saying. Like, even if you hate Kansas City, you should just enjoy the fact that a team is going for their 3rd Super Bowl in a row. Now, a lot of people don't care about that. Some people might. I don't, everyone was telling me how great of a storyline that would be for their three-peat. Hey, Nathaniel, I just think that I think it is, but I think a lot of people hate it. There was somebody else who wanted to jump in. Who is that? Yeah. Yeah, I think they will. But Nathaniel's the other guy on the line. He's a big Philly fan, so we'll see if he changes his mind about that. But yeah, I mean, the thing about it is two things that Kansas City has to prepare for is Saquon Barkley, and they have to prepare all of their players. They have to do the drills, where they're punching the ball out of the receivers and the running backs and stuff, because obviously Philly does that. And if you're not prepared for it, it changes the game. The fumbles change the game. And those fumbles were not like somebody made a mistake. It was Philly going after that ball. Those were punch outs every single time. And so you have to prepare for that. It kind of reminds me of, in basketball when a team that doesn't have a lot of tall players goes up against a team with like a 7-footer, and they use the brooms, to pretend like they're a 7-footer and try to get in the way of your shot and stuff, because they're going to have to practice, get their practice squad or their number twos or whatever it is to just every time punch that ball, work on those drills. Yeah. So, all right, Nathaniel, what did you think?
I mainly had a question for you.
Okay, what's that, buddy?
Should they ban the tush push?
Well, I think they should. I mean, I don't understand how, like, it really is. Here, I'm letting this guy in. It's Landon BTW. It's basically somebody running with the ball and then like 4 people behind them pushing him. That's what it is. It's not like, literally, we used to do that stuff in grade school on the sand lot, like on the blacktop, whatever you want to call it. I think they should. They have all the other rules for field goals where you can't use somebody else's body. Like, you can't stand on someone's back and try to block a field goal. So what do you think, Nathaniel? Oh, it's Landon.
I'm a Philly fan.
What's that? You like it, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Hey, it's Landon. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good. What did you think of the games yesterday?
I thought that the Commanders game was going to be a whole lot closer than it was.
Wait, say that again. You were a little quiet. You thought the Philly game was going to be closer? Yeah. Well, I thought so too. But as I was saying earlier, and some of the folks in the chat, I think, were agreeing with me, is when you fumble 3 times or at least 3 times, and the other team gets 21 points off of it, it's going to change the complexion of the game. It just is. There's no other way to say it. They gave up a lot.
Yeah, I was watching the game last night, and I thought that the Tush should have been a first down.
Okay, in the Buffalo game?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was a first down, but like I said a little bit earlier, there's angles and things, and you can't always judge it. And I guess they all congregated and said they didn't make it. The one linesman said he did make it. The other linesman said he didn't. And then when they had to make the decision, it looked like, they went with the person who said it didn't go in. So I don't know. It's one of those things. But
it's also kind of hard for the officials because they gotta work out where the feet are, where the ball is.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Well, there's a lot of bodies in the way too. There were bodies in the way. Even when they were showing that example, there were a lot of bodies in the way. So it wasn't like they had a clear picture of. Even when they did the overhead, I think they showed it right on overhead during the telecast. It was hard to see where the ball was, because of all the bodies in the way. I just think that, I don't know. It's a simple play, and it's one that I think maybe not this year, but soon I think they're not going to allow it. They're going to say, like, you cannot be helped. I always want to say that it reminds me also of baseball, where if you're running in baseball, if you've hit the ball or walked and you're on base and your coach, like a first base coach or a third base coach, helps you run, like pat your back, pushes you forward, it doesn't count. That's kind of the way I think of this. Okay, let's see. Not 2 viewers requested to join. All right, we'll let them on. Are they coming on? See, I hit view. Okay, yeah, I'm going to accept these guys. Numbers. All right, who do we got?
I think that they should also change the footing rule with the touchdowns and the, like inbound stuff. Like I think that it should be like how it is in college with 1 foot. It should count.
Oh, 1 foot for a touchdown? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like they can get like things like how it is in college.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. I've always kind of thought that way. I do. I understand why they do the 2. I mean, I don't understand why they do the 2 foot, but I think they want to make it just a little bit different. And yeah, that's always been something that people have talked about. That's for sure. Yeah, I just don't know if they'll ever change that rule. But I see. Okay, Mike, numbers, thoughts on the games. What's up, guys?
I don't know, man. I'm not happy with the result. I'm not excited about Super Bowl matchup. We're gonna repeat.
Yeah.
I'm tired of these 2 teams, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping for a high-scoring game. Obviously, if we're gonna see it again. I think it's a really big game for Jalen Hurts overall.
For Jalen Hurts? Yeah.
He doesn't show up fast. He loses again. The Eagles lose again. I think they turn around and maybe try to bring Colin Kaepernick to camp next year and try to get something new in the offense.
You think they're going to bring Colin Kaepernick back?
I think they can. You know.
I mean,
I just think they need a field general like that.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm not. Look, I thought Colin Kaepernick with the 49ers was a good quarterback. I'm not going to go into any of the politics. We live in a country where you can display you have freedom of speech. You have a lot of freedoms, and I think it was a freedom that he was showing, and it was a military person who suggested that he kneels down in respect. But anyway, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to get into that. What I will say is, I would be shocked if it was Colin Kaepernick. But look, you're right. If Jalen Hurts loses again, that's going to hurt sort of his, who he is and what they say about him. He can't win the big game. It might even be more crushing than what they would say about Allen, because Allen loses in the conference championship and he doesn't get to the Super Bowl. Like, I don't know how that would work out, but yeah, I just think that somebody over here, JM, brought up a good point. The fake sliding, or that, I don't know exactly what he's talking about, but the quarterback sliding too is something they really need to figure out, because I will say this. I do like Patrick Mahomes. I like to watch him play. I also like to watch now Jaden Daniels. He was a lot of fun in the first half, and I thought he played well. But the bad sliding by Patrick Mahomes, or the late sliding, or when he slows down and sort of goes out of bounds but doesn't really, it gets a little annoying. Now, that aspect of it, I understand why he does it. He does it because it's not illegal. Like, he slows down by the sidelines.
Yeah.
I understand that. So, what else?
I understand as well, but it's a problem.
Oh, it is. No, it isn't. He's playing poker in the middle of a game.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it makes it really tough. And the slides, look, hey, what's up? What's up, Vincent? What's up? I would say the slides, when it comes to the slides, they have to make some sort of rule on that, because the late slides, someone's going to get their clock cleaned one of these days. I mean, because when Mahomes did that against Houston last week, to me, that wasn't a penalty. He slid too late. It was ridiculous. Plus, the 2 defenders, hit over him. So yeah, I agree. Hey, okay, so we talked to numbers. Mike, any thoughts? Vincent, any thoughts on the games? Any thoughts on the Super Bowl? Yeah.
Giants shouldn't have given Saquon.
What's that?
Giants shouldn't have given that Saquon.
Giants.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said they shouldn't have got rid of Saquon.
Oh, should have gotten rid of Saquon. Yeah, they shouldn't have. Well, the Giants kept their coach, didn't they? They didn't get rid of him.
Yeah, he's still there.
Oh my! Are they going to draft a quarterback? I mean,
Yeah, they might draft.
you can't go with that Mizzou guy. I mean, I live in St. Louis, and I hear a lot about Mizzou, but that Mizzou quarterback, I don't think he's the answer. So wait, I would.
Connor Mink is pretty good.
Who's that?
He's North Dakota State front.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's a lot like Lance. Same system. I kind of trust a prospect like that.
What's that?
I trust a prospect like that.
Yeah.
Hey, host, don't forget you skipped over me.
Yeah, numbers. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was just trying to be respectful.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Not like thoughts on the game.
Yeah.
First off, people did what they were supposed to do. I mean, they don't get no back for that. Now they get a real test. They get a real defense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Bills and Chiefs, I mean, Chiefs did what the Chiefs do. They just figured out how to win. I mean, first 3 quarters, I wouldn't say as a Chiefs fan, I wasn't worried, but I'm like, we might actually lose this.
Yep.
But the Chiefs, they probably are the best second half team in the league.
They are.
And they figured it out. And Spags had a corner blitz in his back pocket that he pulled out on Josh.
Yep.
And that was that when he threw it off his back foot.
Yep.
And
that was the 4th and 5.
I have to give it up to Josh for even putting it even remotely catchable. But I mean, that was just a lot to ask for Donkey to come down with that.
Yeah. The one thing I agree with you. Today, real quick before I say what I was going to say, Bob, I know you're there. Try to get on again. There was somebody else when I go to hit to let you guys on. When there's 2 people at once, it like my screen freezes. So somebody try it and then wait 10 seconds and then somebody else try it and I'll get you both on. I apologize for that. I hit view and then my screen doesn't open up to accept you guys. So it's better when it's one-on-one. Anyway, I thought that Kincaid's dive, I can't put that on Kincaid. There were people on national broadcasts saying that, Kincaid dropped the ball. I don't know how catchable that ball was. I'm not saying that like, oh, he didn't have a chance on it. Obviously it hit his forearm, but that was not like, I would like to have seen Jerry Rice in his prime catching that ball. His momentum to me, was I wrong about this? Looked like he was going in one direction. Then he saw the ball and had to then stretch out and go after it. And
the way the ball hit his arm.
Yeah.
It kind of just not catchable because
yeah.
Best case scenario is going to bounce off.
Yeah.
Wait, are you at a football stadium right now?
No, I'm not. Okay, hold on, guys. I got 2 of you again, or 3 of you. Hold on 1 second. Let me hit this.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm talking to a lot of people about this the last few weeks or so.
There we go.
Obviously, OJ passed away earlier or last year.
Yeah.
Do you really think the Bills put him in the Ring of Honor anytime soon?
Do I think the Bills will what?
Put him in the Ring of Honor anytime soon?
Oh, OJ Simpson? Probably not. I don't think so. I don't think they'll ever put him in. Wouldn't he have been in though? Like, because in the 80s, I mean, you got to remember, I grew up, he was on commercials, guys. He did Hertz commercials, like Rent-A-Car. I think it was Hertz. He was in all those movies, those not Police Academy, but the other ones, they were like comedies. He was in all of those. Yeah. So, I mean, and he did like, I think Monday Night Football, and he did a lot of broadcasts. Like, you grew up. Yeah, I mean, you grew up with the guy, and then all of a sudden, all this nonsense happens, and it's kind of because of DNA. I mean, the DNA all put him at the scene of the crime, but but the LA attorneys weren't so great. So, but anyway, yeah, I don't think they will because it would be too controversial. That's the problem. Okay, I'm trying to get those guys in. Let me see here.
I don't think really what the Eagles need to do to stop Mahomes from all that fake sliding stuff.
Yeah. What do you think?
Even if they think he's gonna fake it or if he's actually gonna go down, because regardless of what happens, it's gonna be a flag. because they're going to go after him if it looks like he's sliding. And he's going to act like he's not sliding, and then he's going to actually slide, and then it's going to be confusing. There's going to be a flag regardless. I think that in order to stop Mahomes from doing that, is to hit him as hard as he can so he won't do it again. I know it sounds mean, but they're going to have to lay out Patrick Mahomes and stop him from doing that.
Well, I mean,
definitely going to do that against them.
Well, there are other sports that govern themselves, sort of like baseball with hitting the batters, and obviously hockey, with the fighters and the goons. I mean, there are those sports that do that to each other. Let's see. I'm trying to let these guys in, but
they're just gonna have to find a way to change the rules because when you got somebody like Mahomes, we find to manipulate.
Yeah, I mean, they'll just have to come up with something. I don't know. A kneel won't work. They're going to have to just slide these people. I mean, the slide they'll just have to keep sliding. And when they slide, they're going to have to protect themselves. And there was something that I watched, I don't know, a week or 2 or 3 ago when this was a big issue, was another quarterback. It wasn't Tua. It was, I forget who the quarterback was, where he just got his bell rung. And Eli Manning, who's that? I'm sorry. Yeah, it was Trevor Lawrence. You're right. And Eli Manning talked about, and if you guys saw me do this before, you'll don't laugh, but basically what he did, he said, look, the problem of it is they're not sliding correctly. What he did is he kind of had a corkscrew, or where he would slide on his butt, and then as he's sliding, he would get on his stomach. So he would turn his body so that he ended up on his stomach, and that would get him lower to the ground so his head wasn't sitting up. And actually, in a way, if these guys don't want to get hit, that's the way to do it. But I don't know. Right now, they're doing it the way they're doing it. So
definitively slide.
Yeah.
Out of bounds.
Yeah.
Not whatever hit is not illegal.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. That's now the tush push. I think you can govern by saying you can't push another player forward, or you can't have two people doing it. But with the sliding, they want to protect the quarterbacks. Let's face it, the NFL is a quarterback dominated league. So, and we lost Bob. Bob, come back if you can, buddy. I'll get to you. I promise.
How come the Eagles the first push so well?
Well, the Bills looked horrible doing it, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they just looked horrible. I mean, that was just they did not watch the video on the how-to video on YouTube on that one, man. They missed that one bad. Yeah. I mean, that was so. Who do you guys think that? Okay, who thinks who's going to win? Who do you guys think is going to win in the Super Bowl then? What's that?
As a Chiefs fan, I even think Eagles.
What?
As a Chiefs fan, you think the Eagles are going to win? Okay, you got to.
I'm a Chiefs fan. I want the Eagles, or I want the Chiefs to win.
But you think? Wait, who thinks the Eagles are going to win though? That's a Chiefs fan.
Yeah. Look at what Cook did to the Chiefs last night.
Yeah, I agree.
Imagine that with Saquon Barkley.
Well, no, I agree. I agree. Going into the game, yes, that's a scary thing. I totally understand what you're saying. But the way I look at it is Spagnuolo and Reed will come up with a way to they're not going to stop Saquon. Somebody said this on YouTube. You're not going to stop Saquon. All you can do is kind of try to limit him. You're going to have to tackle him. Yeah, go ahead.
The one thing that we have going for us against that offense is their quarterback is Jalen Hurts.
Okay. And so you're saying Jalen Hurts maybe not the best quarterback, and that's a good thing, right?
And Taylor Swift.
Yeah. And you got Taylor Swift.
Is a talented football player.
Who is?
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
You guys watch that to win the Super Bowl. Mike? You guys watching the halftime show this year? What's the deal?
Yeah, you guys watching Lamar?
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar.
People.
I actually heard the young singer Blake Weaver.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what he's all about.
yeah, there is another singer in there or musician. Yeah. Now, some of the complaints, because I did a video on this I think I posted on YouTube and uh, TikTok. Some of the complaints are people are sick of the Chiefs. They're sick of the Chiefs and the Eagles. They think that Caesars Superdome is a pile of crap because the power went out, remember, and all that kind of stuff. So they're thinking that. And then other people were complaining actually about Lamar being the halftime show. So those are the complaints that were on Twitter or X earlier today for the most part. And I mean, you guys think any of those are true? I do remember Caesars, the power did go out, I believe, in the Super Bowl. I mean, it was crazy. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's like something a middle school gym would have happened to it, right? It's a Superdome, but and Mike, you will be back on. I just have to wait. For some reason, it's taking a long time to let everybody join. So I apologize. Nick, what do you think of the games from yesterday? What do you think of the Super Bowl?
Me and Vincent, we watched together.
Okay, cool.
Like I said, coming out the draft, Jalen Hurts reminds me of Mark Sanchez.
Okay.
That's a
Ah,
really good take.
yeah.
I don't think he won a Super Bowl. I don't have him in my top 10. So, I don't think he's gonna get it done. If they do, it's gonna be Saquon.
Yeah, it'll clearly be Saquon. I mean, Saquon carried them. He had the 3 touchdowns. So yeah, go ahead.
They are the best team in the league at adjusting to what you're doing. So it's like, let's say Saquon goes off for like 150 in the first half.
Yeah.
Which he very well could.
Yeah.
I really see them making some type of adjustment. Because last night, like I said, Josh Allen was being Josh Allen. And their bag pulled out of blitz and out of his pocket. Who does that? That type of exotic corner blitz.
Bags, if you watch the game, Bags was setting up that blitz the entire game.
Exactly.
The entire game, we were blitzing off of the strong side of the offensive formation. And that last blitz is the only time they blitzed off the weak side. Josh Allen made adjustments to slide towards the strong side of the offense, and that freed up 2 guys going in at him.
And that's when it's like chess versus chess. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a chess match.
Yeah.
That's what excited me so much last night. Like, that's why, like, Saquon is Saquon.
Yeah.
Him himself alone is not going to be spag, bro.
Well,
Just to it.
yeah, and the one thing I'll say is I want to see Hurts have serious pressure on him because I don't know that he is, I mean, obviously he can run and things like that, but I don't know how strong he is when he has that kind of pressure, Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't see that as something.
That's so well. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Jaden
Daniels.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Russell Wilson in like 2015.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, I got to tell you, when I was watching that Eagles Commanders game yesterday, I like Jaden Daniels and I did fantasy all year and I talked about him and my son had him on a couple teams and stuff. He's a lot. Look, he is so much fun to watch and he's so calm. Like I've said this before, that game against Detroit, Goff looked like the rookie. He had happy feet. He was nervous. He was making bad throws. He was running all over the place. Daniels dropped back, made a pass, dropped back, handed the ball off. He was all calm and collected. And as we talked about on one of the last streams last week, that maybe that VR helps him because he's like the only quarterback in the NFL to have that VR and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if it does or not, but yeah.
Dropped out so you can let other people.
Oh, no problem. Yeah.
But, I think whoever is like calling plays for Detroit, did they put Jared Goff in a bad situation by having him just like? What do you expect him to do? He's a game manager. Well, Jared Goff is very good. So I'm not taking anything away from him. No, I'm saying that it's possible, but that coaching put him in a bad situation to make him look bad.
Well,
Make him make mistakes.
Well, here's the thing with Jared Goff, okay? I think he put up very good numbers. He was a very efficient quarterback. If you look at some of those games, he wasn't asked to throw the ball a lot at least earlier in the season, okay? There's something with Jared Goff. There's a reason they got rid of him in Los Angeles. There was something that coach saw and said, we can't win the big one with. He took him to a Super Bowl, but they lost. The coach realized we're not going to be able to win with this guy. And then they traded for Stafford, obviously. I'm not saying Goff could never win it or anything like that, but there is, people handle pressure differently. I guess that's what I'm getting at. What's that?
Mike said he has bad news.
Oh, what's that?
I don't know.
Oh, all right.
Just heard some news.
Okay, Mike, I'm letting you in, buddy.
I'm excited to hear.
All right. And then I have two more people waiting.
Groundbreaking news.
What's that?
Jalen Hurts going in the IR. Connor May called up for the practice squad. Will be called up for the Eagles to back up Tanner McKee in the Super Bowl.
Really?
On that stage.
We've done this.
Where'd you see this offer?
Wow. It's all over Twitter right now. I'm pretty sure Schefter just put it out there. I mean, this is like serious information.
Yeah. Wow. So say that again so everybody can hear you.
Connor May at NDSU.
Connor May signed on the Philadelphia Eagles practice squad. Jalen Hurts put on the IR. Tanner McKee to start the Super Bowl.
Nah, you found it off of that fake website.
Oh, come on. Connor May? No.
Connor May, yes.
Oh, come on.
They're gonna let
He's a free agent, no?
Yeah, they just signed him up for practice.
They would put Kenny Pickett in before him.
Fantasy football.
All right, look, after this debate, let's have a real debate. Who's the real GOAT? Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes? Tom Brady. Oh, come on.
I think here's the thing with that. I was thinking about that. If Mahomes wins and wins 3 in a row, and that's his 4th Super Bowl, and he's never lost, why isn't he the GOAT? I mean, Brady lost what, 3 or 4? But he didn't lose. Oh, he did lose the Super Bowl. You're right. When Brady was with Tampa Bay.
If you want to have the argument about
That's right.
beat Brady in the big game, you got to say Eli Manning is the GOAT. Yeah, Eli Manning is the GOAT. No question. Brady never beat Eli. Brady never beat Eli, and Eli never lost to Brady. So therefore, he's the GOAT. In my opinion.
Well, he only has 2 Super Bowls.
If the Chiefs three-peat, all Mahomes has to do is tie the number of Super Bowls to be the GOAT. If they lose this Super Bowl, he has to get 8.
Well, I don't disagree with that. I think that's a good thing. But just think how crazy it is what you kind of just said. If he wins in 2 weeks, if Mahomes wins in 2 weeks and gets 4 Super Bowls, he needs another 3. 3. I mean, yeah, that's nuts, isn't it? Like that's a career for most quarterbacks. What's that?
I think Dom DeMarco is going to be a high draft pick in the next draft.
Okay.
Yeah, he is a good player. Because one-on-one, he gets burnt a lot. What are your thoughts on the Ohio State guy going back to for another year? The guy who always gets all the PI.
Well, here's the thing about if you go back to college now. Yeah, if you stay in college or go back to college, however you want to talk about it, and not go to the pros, you're making millions of dollars usually on the NIL deal. So why change the situation that you're in?
And Andrew
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of guys that there's a lot of guys, even lesser known guys that are just like staying in because they're getting paid another year. They're not leaving early. I mean, why would you?
Vanderbilt completely had a rule change to do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's now become about the money in a lot of ways, and it's almost with the NIL deal. I mean, what would it like if would they make more in NIL than they would as a rookie who's drafted like in the 4th round?
Yes, definitely.
So that's why they're staying in it, because they're going to get $15 million where they might only get 1.2 if they were in the 3rd round or 4th round or something like that.
NCAA needs to put a salary cap type system in.
I think Pete Leverworth was just a fluke in college. He would have been a good quarterback.
Well,
The injury. Yeah, but that podcast he got under his career, and then Mamba never helped him. His wife.
yeah, I just
But his Scatterboo, yeah.
I don't want to even talk about Scatterboo. People are saying he's the best running back in the draft.
Your profile kind of looks like your ass. Oh.
my profile.
Nah, Gage Martin.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he plays football.
Oh, I thought you were. Oh, Gage Martins. I gotcha.
You good at football, Gage?
Me?
Oh,
Oh, Gages.
You saw, yeah. Do you think you should put you? Y'all look like you got the same uniform. Yeah, I think you look like it too. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's weird.
Well.
Where you go, Gage? Chino Hills.
Ooh, L.A.
Yeah. Damn.
Is that it? Is Chino Hills in Orange County?
Yeah. Well, I'm out of there. That fire.
Oh well, yeah. Now you guys are getting rain. That sucks. So Vincent, where did you play, or where do you play?
It's like near Orange
Okay. Okay. Oh, Orange County, New Jersey. Okay. Yeah. Because Chino Hills is L.A. Orange County. Yeah, Chino Hills is L.A. Orange County. I forgot that everybody. Florida has an Orange County. Jersey has an Orange County. Yeah, that's. Yeah. Well, I mean.
All right. What do you think? Do you think is Jersey a good state for high school football? Nah.
What's that?
What do you think? What do you think the best state for like high school?
Oh well, Texas. There are other players that come out of Florida.
Isn't Jersey up there?
Jersey?
Jersey? Aren't they one of the best states?
I don't know if Jersey is. I know Texas is. I know the South is. You have a lot of
Texas or California.
Texas, California.
Texas over Cali, just because Cali's teams are so good because they are all private schools.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
Best teams in Texas are all public schools.
Yes. That's everybody in LA comes out of private schools pretty much if they're good in like sports.
I didn't even play 11-man football in Texas. I played 6-man football.
Okay.
We have 2 different sports of football in Texas.
Now, did people? Okay, I know this is a weird question, but did people look down on you because you played 6-man football?
No, a lot of people think it's harder.
Okay, good.
On the defense in 6-man football, imagine you're trying to play 5-on-5 basketball, playing 5v1 is pretty much how it feels.
I gotcha. Okay.
There's so much open space. If you have any speed, you're
Oh.
gonna put up 80 points a game.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. Speed. It's all about speed, really. Yeah. I didn't even.
State record for touchdown passes in a 6-man game is 17.
17. Holy cow! Are touchdowns?
High school, I'm tied for third for most touchdown passes in the game, and I only threw 11.
Holy cow!
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, okay, silly question. I'm in Missouri. I did live in LA for 5 years, but I didn't have any kids. I was out of high school and all that. Are touchdowns still 6 points on 6-on-6?
Yes.
Okay, wow. That's
But
a
if you kick an extra point, it's 2.
Oh, okay.
Just like do a regular 2-point conversion, it's 1.
Oh, really? Oh, that's weird.
Because it's so much easier to block a field goal because
Okay.
you're not spread out as wide.
Okay. Okay.
Like if you kick a regular field goal, it's 4 points.
Wow. Wow.
Fields are 80 yards long. And
Okay.
50 yards across.
Okay. Wow.
First down is 15.
So the 40 is midfield then.
Yes.
And regular football fields are 50 yards wide, right?
53.
Oh, the 53. Okay. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, that's a lot of room though for 12 people. That's still a lot of room. That's a good job, man. 11 touchdown passes. Wow. Yeah, go ahead.
The one thing about 6-man
Yeah.
that kind of gives the defense somewhat an advantage is if you take the snap, you cannot run past the line of scrimmage. There has to be an exchange before somebody can run past the line of scrimmage.
Until they run past what? Say that again.
The line of scrimmage.
Oh.
If you take the snap, you cannot run the ball.
Okay. 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 So like no quarterback keepers.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what a lot of teams will do is like what we did. I was technically the quarterback, but I lined up as running back.
Okay. Yeah. I would imagine there's a lot of that because if you direct snap, you can't run the ball. So what's the point? You know, like
Exactly.
you have to pass, you know? So yeah. Yeah.
And if you're a lot of like our passing sets, we'd have 3 receivers split out to the side of the field. You would have one lineman as the center, a typical quarterback, and I would be split out as running back. So I had 2 blockers.
Oh, okay.
It's you'll have like look on YouTube. A 6-man football game looks foreign.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it sounds
I
like
don't even consider it as the same sport.
well, no, I mean it's all about speed. I'm assuming there aren't like big linemen in the game for any reason, really.
And I mean, the schools who do have big kids,
Yeah.
they have an advantage because a lot of 6-man schools don't have big kids, so they can just run it up the middle of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Wow. Well, hey, look at that. We all got a little more information about 6-on-6 football.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to does anybody care about the Pro Bowl and the flag football? Nobody cares? Okay. That's kind of what I thought. You know, back in the day when they would go to Hawaii for the Pro Bowl, it was always kind of lame. Nobody really played defense, and there would be like 1 or 2 players that cared, and the rest didn't care. You know, it was just that's why they changed it all. But yeah, I don't think anybody.
Baseball is the last sport who has an all-star type game worth watching.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, because in basketball they don't play defense at all, and it's like 200 to 198. And then in hockey, I don't know if they went back to it, but there for a while it was like 3-on-3 or 4-on-4. I went to that. There was an all-star game in St. Louis where I live, like 2020, actually, right before COVID, and it was kind of lame because it was like 3-on-3. The rink was so big and there were so few people. It just wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't very exciting at all. I didn't think so. It was wide open, no doubt about it. But so are you guys all Kansas City fans?
No, hell no.
Okay, okay.
I'm a Chiefs fan.
You're a Chiefs fan. We got an Eagles or someone who's probably rooting for the. Who do you root for? The person who said you're not a Chiefs fan. Who do you like? Week in and week out. Who do you have a team?
Even though I'm a little, were you talking to me?
Yeah. I was talking to you.
Even though I'm a little bit salty about the Bills and Ravens game because I'm a Ravens fan.
Okay.
But, you know, I was rooting for the Bills. Like I was like during the game, I was like, regardless on who wins this game, like they gotta go beat the Chiefs. And unfortunately, it didn't happen.
Gotcha.
I can say
I am so happy to both beat y'all because I did not want to play the Ravens. I would have played the Bills 10 out of 10 times over the Ravens.
To be honest, even if we did play the Chiefs, I don't think that it would have went how everybody thought it would. I thought that we would have beat the Bills if we actually ran the ball like we did against the Steelers.
Oh yeah.
They didn't do it.
They didn't run Derrick Henry. They needed to run Derrick Henry more. They didn't run him at all. It was awful. Hey Bob, what's up, buddy?
The Ravens are just like a nightmare matchup for the Chiefs.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing.
I don't really feel the same way. All right, I'm gonna go now.
All right. Hey Bob, what's going on? What did you think of the games? Bob?
I think the Bills should have won. They had a weird game.
I gotcha. Yeah, I mean they yeah.
I told you the Eagles would demolish Washington.
Yeah, I didn't. Bob, you were 100% right. I thought that game was going to be closer. I was shocked by that final score. 55 points. I mean that's like, D1 playing a D2 school kind of thing. I mean that was crazy.
Yeah, to be fair, the Commanders did hurt themselves a lot.
Yeah.
Without all the fumbles, it's a completely different.
Oh, completely. Well, because the 3 fumbles led to 21 points, right?
Yes.
I mean, that was.
You say that, but the week before, that's how Washington won the game.
Oh, that's true. You're right. You're right.
The turnovers against the Lions, I think the Lions win that game.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. You're right.
And even if you're watching the Bills and Chiefs game last night, because of Josh Allen fumbled the ball 3 times. If the Chiefs recover those fumbles, it's a complete I know the Chiefs won anyway, but it's a completely different story.
Yeah. Oh, completely.
To be honest, on that, sorry to cut you off.
No. Go ahead.
To be fair, with Josh Allen, I think that on the very first drive, I don't know if you guys were listening to the crowd, but the crowd was really loud.
That's a major benefit Kansas City has. They have the loudest stadium in the NFL.
Well, and what makes it Go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say, what's weird about that, and I agree with you, it's an outdoor stadium. It's not even a dome.
It's the fans.
Yeah.
And even when we have Matt Castle playing quarterback, and the only thing we had going for us is Jamal Charles fantasy points.
Yeah.
They were still recorded as the loudest stadium.
Yep. Okay, young Shizzy has a lot of. He was born and raised in Philly. I do gaming and sports. Okay, Bills are better than Chiefs. I rather play Chiefs than a Philly fan that would rather play the Chiefs than the Bills. That's interesting.
I want to hear y'all's opinions on this because I've been hearing people say it all day.
Yeah, what?
Are we genuinely just thinking talent-wise, coaching-wise?
Okay.
How are the Bills a better team than the Chiefs? Besides Josh Allen and Cook, what other guys on the offensive side of the ball do they have? I mean, you have Keon Coleman. He's a rookie.
Well, Shakir's not a bad wide receiver. He's not an elite wide receiver. But yeah, you're right.
But he wouldn't even be in the Chiefs' regular rotation of receivers.
Yeah, probably. Well, the Chiefs, I'm not going to, sit here and say that I think the Chiefs have a great wide receiver core. I don't, they don't use.
It's solid.
It's solid. Yeah. And I have to say this, I've been very tough on Xavier Worthy all season. I think he makes really stupid plays. Like he'll catch the ball, but not get both feet in bounds, or he won't know, he'll turn and he won't know where he is. And he goes out of bounds right away. And so, but yesterday he played strong. He played very good. And I said this earlier, maybe he grew up yesterday, like maybe he figured it out. So
that's the best game he's played since the first game of the season.
Yes, I agree completely.
That first game of the season, I thought he was going to be a Pro Bowl wide receiver.
I thought so too. Now, did he drop a lot of passes? Somebody told me that. Oh, okay. Not yesterday, but over the season.
So, he's inconsistent at times, but coming from the receiving core we had last year, I'm not going to say he dropped a lot of passes.
Yeah, I didn't think he did. Someone told me, "Oh, he drops a lot of passes." I'm like, I don't know that Worthy drops a lot. I think maybe he runs a bad route or that he doesn't always think when he's on the field. Maybe he gets a little nervous. Maybe he, like me, has ADHD, whatever the case is. But I thought yesterday, I was impressed by the way he played yesterday. He really stepped up finally.
I
Yeah.
do not think that he is nervous at all. I think that Xavier Worthy something into the league. I think that immediately when he got drafted to the Chiefs, that he knew that he was going to be confident. Because it's not like he got drafted to the Patriots and everything. Like,
Yeah.
Like coming into that year, he was going to be on the Super Bowl team. They could go again that year.
Well,
and I think that messes up his confidence a lot, and he gets really excited about it whenever he's in the big game.
Well, I'll say one thing too, and if you think about it, if Rashee Rice had stayed healthy, or I'll say it in a different way, Rashee Rice's injury forced Xavier Worthy to take on a bigger, more important role with the Chiefs than I think, like, they thought that he would at that point. Like all of a sudden he was thrust to the number one. He didn't really have a lot of good games. They make the trade for Hopkins. Hopkins has a good game or two, but Hopkins is not in a bad way, but he's kind of faded. They don't use him as much as they did maybe the first couple of weeks that they had him. But they have more weapons back. They have Hollywood Brown. They have Smith Schuster back. Those I know Hollywood Brown was injured. Was Smith Schuster? He was injured too. So they got those guys back, and so now they're spreading the ball around a little bit, and that makes them more dangerous, I feel too. Because you can't just worry about one person.
The thing is with Xavier Worthy is that the Chiefs fan, we overhyped him coming in.
Yeah.
Because we're expecting him to be our next Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
The way that we run our offense now against when we have Tyreek Hill is completely different.
Yeah.
We don't throw the ball down the field like that.
No, not at all.
So it's people were trying to compare him to what Tyreek Hill is, and you can't do that.
No. Well, it's because he was so fast. I mean, he had the fastest time in the combine. So they all thought that he was going to be cheated too, 2.0, but he wasn't. And the other thing about it is your offense doesn't need that. The Kansas City offense doesn't need 30-yard, 40-yard passes. They're very effective. They're very efficient. They get their first downs. They don't necessarily move it. One play, they don't move it 40 yards. They might move it 4, and then they move it 4, and then they move it 4, and that's a first down. That's how they play now. I was just, yeah.
I've been in arguments with other Chiefs fans over this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because everybody always says that Mahomes is the reason that why we get so far.
Yeah.
This season, it's been Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
He needs his flowers just as well as anybody on the team.
It's true. Well, and
if we don't sign Kareem Hunt after Pacheco goes down, we really don't know.
Oh, you don't have, yeah. You're a completely different team. Because nobody else could really they tried for a week or two when Kareem was getting used to the offense or whatever. I know he played for them before, but with P. Ryan, and then there was the Carson guy, the white running back. What was his name?
Carson Steele.
Yeah, Carson Steele. He never really Yeah, exactly. So he couldn't, he didn't get the job done, and P. Ryan didn't get the job done, and they needed Hunt. They really did. Now, I will say there was a period of time in the season towards like 75% of the season there, 3/4 of the way in, that they weren't using Kareem Hunt very much. He wasn't, his numbers weren't great. They weren't giving him the ball as much. Maybe they were trying out different things. They were using the other tight end, Noah Gray, a lot more too.
His numbers weren't up.
Yeah.
But if you go and look at second and short, third and shorts, Kareem Hunt's the one getting the ball over the line, then he's coming out.
Yeah, he is. You're right. He does. So, all right, guys. I'll be on tomorrow night. Don't forget to hit that follow and like and subscribe on YouTube. Tomorrow night is Tuesday Night Trivia. We'll be doing football again because we're getting up for the Super Bowl. We can still talk football, guys, but hit that follow on TikTok, hit that subscribe on YouTube. We'll be doing Tuesday Night Trivia starting at around, I might be late, but 7:30 Eastern time. That's 4:30 on the West Coast for you guys, all right? So we'll be starting then, and I'll try to just come up with as many football trivia questions as I can. So, all right. I have to do a little puzzle. Yeah.
But I was gonna ask about this dude.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you think that Lamar Jackson will ever win a Super Bowl?
I mean, I think he's actually good enough to win a Super Bowl. I think part of it is, here's the one thing I don't understand the play calling. I don't know why they didn't run Derrick Henry more against Buffalo. I felt like if they ran Derrick Henry more, they would have won that game. And I say that and I bring that up because the first game of the season against Kansas City, I also felt like they didn't run Derrick Henry enough. He only had like 15 touches or something, or runs essentially in that game. And then this more recent game here in the playoffs, I think if they continued to run him, that the game wouldn't have been close. There's this, the one thing I'll say about football now as to, years ago when I was younger and stuff, is they really like to pass first. And sometimes they don't respect the running back like they used to. I mean, I grew up with like John Riggins and Eric Dickerson, and moved on to Marshall Faulk and Emmett Smith and all these guys. I mean, they were as big as quarterbacks back in the day. Those guys were, and I just think that Harbaugh, John, I don't understand why they didn't run Derrick Henry more. I just don't know why. They would have won that game. Yes, even with all the turnovers, they would have. And I think that until they figured, the other thing too is they might have needed, what was it? Bateman was hurt. They might have needed another wide receiver to be healthy, but I don't know. I mean, he did make some errors. He did. I think that he will. He's so good that I want him to, I guess. It's more of my heart talking now than it is anything else. What do you think?
Yeah, I love Lamar a lot. I really hope that he gets to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I know that it's probably not going to be the next year or the year after that. I think it's going to be a little bit before he does, because I think he also needs a little bit more experience in the playoffs.
Well, yeah.
He played good against the teams besides the first half, but he came out in the second half and it was like he was popping off.
He was.
But I do think. What were you going to say?
No, I said he was. I was just agreeing with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I don't really know. I love Lamar a lot.
Well,
I've been watching him since he's been in Louisville, but I just hope
the one thing I'll say too is Baltimore doesn't have the defense that we think about with Baltimore. Like, we think of Ray Lewis a lot and people think of their scary defense. Their defense is decent against the run, but it was not good against the pass. Their defense was not very good throughout the entire season against the pass. And I think if they can solidify that, especially in the playoffs, that'll cut down the number of points that Lamar has to put on the board. And they will be able to run the ball a little bit more. They won't be playing catch up like they do so much. So, I think probably in 3 years he makes it to a Super Bowl. He's still young. I mean, we're talking about somebody, we were talking about Patrick Mahomes maybe winning again, winning a couple more or winning as many Super Bowls as Tom Brady. The one thing I'll say is, you got Lamar Jackson and he's not going to go anywhere. I mean, they're both young. So anyway, all right, guys, I'm going to let y'all go. Take care. Have a great night. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and follow. You hit the follow on TikTok, the subscribe on YouTube, and the like on both. So thank you very much. Have a great night. Talk to you tomorrow. Take care, man.